Train the muscles, not the joints. So welcome back to Natural Gallant Bodybuilding. And today I was asked by Cameron whether rack deadlifts are better for upper back training than standard deadlift from the floor. Now I'm gonna just say this, I mean, both exercises are great. Standard deadlift is great if you're built for it. If you're built for it, you can keep that back arched when you're lifting that weight from the floor. You're not overstraining, you're not rounding the back. Then deadlifts are a great exercise. So this isn't a slander against normal deadlifts by any means, because it does kick the crap out of a lot of different muscle groups. But the thing is about deadlifts on the floor is that you will fatigue the lower back and the hip muscles at a much faster rate than the upper back muscles. That's pretty much a sure thing. Like whatever is the thing that stops the set is the very thing that will adapt or be forced to adapt, right? So if your lower back is hitting failure, if your hips are hitting failure, if your hamstrings are hitting failure, those things will start to grow or get stronger. Okay, that's just the way weight training works. Now with rack deadlifts, this allows you to find the most efficient, easier range of motion for the lower back. So now the set can continue longer. So if you can deadlift 315 from the floor for a set of 10, I guarantee you with a rack deadlift from the pins, if you're just going halfway down, you could probably do about 15, 20 reps with that 315, if not more, okay? So because of that, the upper back will get hit a lot harder, like the upper traps, the lats even, the rear delts, you know, a lot of these different support muscles in the upper back that are responsible for holding onto the weight and pulling the shoulder blades back, those muscles will hit a deeper level of failure. The other thing is you can also lift a lot more weight when you're doing a rack deadlift. You're a lot stronger at a partial range than you are at a full range. Now, again, it's not about partial ranges being wrong or right. It's not about full ranges being wrong or right. You use both. But the thing is with a rack deadlift, if your goal is to hit the upper back, you want to basically make sure those muscles are challenged. And by doing a rack deadlift, you're making sure the lower back is no longer the weak link in the exercise. Your lower back will probably be hitting failure at the same rate as the upper back muscles are, if not close to. Okay, so maybe your lower back still hits failure first, but at least it's not hitting failure in such a big discrepancy between the upper back hitting failure and your lower back hitting failure. You see what I'm saying? So now, because you can continue the set longer or use more weight, so you can use 400 pounds for rack deadlifts instead of just 315 from the floor, now you're gonna be putting more pressure, more stress on those upper back muscles and be able to force a different adaptation. So yeah, if upper back training is your primary goal and you're not even interested in, you know, the full benefits of a deadlift from the floor, okay, whether it's sport specific training or whether it's just having overall lower back strength from the hole, you know, deep in the hole, you want to get that lower back strength. If you're not interested in that, then rack deadlifts are probably a better alternative to build that upper back muscle and to really bring out those traps and those lats and bring out the overall back development. And the thing is with rack deadlifts, you still are also working the posterior chain. You still are working the lower back. You still are working the hamstrings. It's just, like I said, everything's hitting failure at a closer rate than just your lower back hitting failure or your hamstrings hitting failure long before your upper back does. All right. So I hope this helps you out with your training. And if you need to get a hold of me, just go to naturalgallantbodybuilding.com and take care for now.